In this video, I will be analyzing the portrayal of African Americans in film. Both historical and current evidence will be used in order to show and prove how the predominantly white entertainment industry does not and have not accurately or respectively represent African Americans in film. The representation that African Americans do receive in film both negatively and positively influence social opinion and popular culture. It's pretty obvious that Hollywood has never ever been too inclusive in its casting choices. Arthur Aguirre, in his book Framing Blackness, explains how white filmmakers use negative stereotypes to shape characters. The use of blackface in cinema is one of the most infamous staple pieces of racism. Professor David Leonard states that blackface is an assertion of power and control. It allows society to routinely and historically imagine African Americans as not fully human. Thomas Rice, known as the father of minstrelsy, created a black character with exaggerated moves and idiotic behavior based on his own observations of slaves.
Slim Williams.
My friends, it is indeed a financial pleasure to have so many of you resemble here today on this suspicious occasion. Now, we have resembled here to elect...
Al Jolson is also infamously known for his racist blackface performances. Racism was so profound in cinema that even negative stereotypes were found in children's cartoons. Lincoln Perry was Hollywood's first black movie star. He was particularly known for his role in Stepin Fetchit and The Chitlin Circuit. Of course, his role in any of these films were not positive by far. Journalist Roy Hurst states that Lincoln Perry portrays a befuddled, mumbling, shiftless fool. For the obvious reasons, his role was detrimental to black popular culture. As mentioned before, journalist Roy Hurst states that by the mid-1930s, black leaders were putting pressure on Hollywood to rid the screen of the stereotype Perry was responsible for creating. They believed the Stepin Fetchit character was keeping white Americans from viewing blacks as capable of joining the mainstream.
Can't get him up. Richard. Can't get him up. Lazy Richard can't get him up. Richard. Can't get him up. Richard. Can't get him up. Richard. Can't get him up. We'll try to get him on the phone.
I was laying down dreaming, everybody was trying to wake me up.
Now, stepping to the 70s, a new and refreshing era of film was created: blaxploitation. Blaxploitation is a term coined in the early 1970s to refer to black action films that were aimed at black audiences featuring African American actors in lead roles with anti-establishment plots. Blaxploitation films have mixed reviews. Some believe that the violence depicted promotes more of a negative stereotype upon the black community, while others think that this type of cinematography is beneficial, being that the lead characters are indeed black and they do not traditionally follow the same patterns of other black roles or characters like Jimmy Walker or Lincoln Perry. Jimmy Walker is mostly known for his role in Good Times, which aired in the 1970s during the blaxploitation era. Some may say this character resembles Lincoln Perry's character in regards to the behavior displayed. Some may even say his character was a step back to the minstrel shows. Moving on to more contemporary times, we start to see more inclusion in Hollywood's casting choices, like how we see here with Michael Duncan as John Coffey. But all inclusion is not technically good inclusion. Although we see more inclusion in Hollywood, the characters the black actors play are often based on caricatures, like the magical Negro, the token black friend, the mammy, the domestic, and the brash woman. In The Green Mile, we see Michael Duncan play the magical Negro. Michael Duncan's character is subordinate to Tom Hanks' character, and the systemic racism Michael Duncan character's faces drives the character development for Tom Hanks' character. Tyler Perry is known for his comical take on the Black experience, but his depiction of Black women is not always positive. In most of his movies, the Black women portrayed are either scorned, brash, or overtly promiscuous. Some have even gone to say how his character, Medea, represents the mammy character. The depiction of Black women in the media and in film affect the modern-day view or perspective of Black women. That is why proper representation is so important. Hollywood is also known for the token Black friend trope. The token Black friend usually plays no significant part in plot advancement. Here we see Jennifer Hudson and Stacey Dash, who play insubordinate characters who are insignificant to their plot, and the white co-stars. Jennifer Hudson's character, Louise in Sex and the City, is literally Sarah Jessica Parker's character's assistant. Sarah Jessica Parker literally gives Jennifer's character her hand-me-downs out of pity. And to make matters worse, Jennifer's character is dirt poor and she lives in the South. Moving on to the domestic character, we see Viola Davis and Octavia Spencer both playing insubordinate roles compared to their white co-stars. The racism Viola and Octavia characters face helps drive the plot and character development in the main character, Scooter. Scooter's white guilt and white privilege leads her to writing a book that she alone prophetizes from, even though Viola and Octavia, the two maids, contribute greatly too. Both maids go back to the same life of poverty at the beginning of the movie, and they do not benefit from the book's popularity. Their safety is actually compromised. The Help, The Best of Enemies, and Green Book are all white savior flicks. White savior flicks are basically movies that feel good to white people. It makes them think, well, at least I'm not that racist. But now shifting towards a more positive light, we have directors like Jordan Peele, Ryan Coogler, and Barry Jenkins make a successful effort to show true inclusivity in a positive light. Because of Jordan Peele, we have Black actors playing the lead roles in horror films, which is typically not the norm. In the movie Us, we see the traditional roles being broken. First of all, we have a Black, dark-skinned woman playing a strong role in a male and white-dominated industry. This is the type of representation Black women need in film, playing diverse roles in diverse genres, breaking the norm. Director Ryan Coogler does an excellent job at showing and depicting African culture in a positive light. There are very, very few movies that have Black superheroes incorporated, so it's very refreshing to see Black superheroes for the first time on screen. Point being, accurate representation on its own is very important. Hollywood has a long history of misrepresenting Black men and women in film. That misrepresentation affects our daily lives as Black people. Non-people of color look at these films that misrepresent us and create a knowledgeable and biased stereotypes based on what they see on films. The portrayal of Black people in films feeds into the cycle of misrepresentation and later the popular culture. However, I believe the cycle of misrepresentation can end due to the new and upcoming directors like Jordan Peele, Ryan Coogler, and Ava DuVernay, who have all changed the Black film industry.